Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Captain Coder here on this beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Any day I can get up and start coding. It's a beautiful day. It's so nice to have the whole crew here, folks. It's so nice to see you. So nice to see you, Tani. If you're still here, thank you so much for popping in, my friend. I hope you have yourself a beautiful day. And I can't wait to see you next time. You know you're always welcome here, Tani. I know you've been very busy, my friend. Keep focusing on that school, get that stuff done, take care of all the things that are important for you, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time to just pop in, though. It's so nice to have you here, even if it's just for a brief moment. Woomy over at ITC Studios, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Woomy, how the heck are you, folks? Folks, did you know I'll give it a little bit of time here, but today's stream is brought to us by the letter I. I is for ITC Studios. Oh, I have a typo in my little thing that says ITC Studios. ITC Studios is not correct. ITC Studios. I can't believe that's been there. I've been using this for a while. That's right, Woom. Today's stream is brought here by you, by ITC Studios. Thank you so much for being here at ITC. Did you guys know ITC is the one who created this beautiful pixel art right here? You see these dancing mugs? These dancing mugs? ITC Woomy did those, folks. Amazing work. You can get, did you know Woomy is taking commissions? If you want to go check it out, ITC Studios here on Twitch, folks. I'll do a quick shout out. It's just ITC Studios. She's she's a main pixel artist making a game called Anomaly. Be sure to check her out. Folks, I'm so sorry. I do have a throat thing going on. I don't feel sick, but I feel a throat thing happening, so I may not have as much energy as I did. We're gonna do a short stream, I think, today. We'll see. Things might pick up a little bit. I wasn't sure how I was gonna be doing until I started talking this morning. Yeah. So it's feeling, there's a little bit of something. I don't feel sick. Just have a weird throat thing going on. Hopefully it doesn't develop into anything worse. But it's so nice to have you all here on this beautiful day. Fabic, that stuff you've been posting on stream, your procedurally generated dungeon looks amazing. Folks, if you haven't seen this yet, you gotta head over to the Discord. Look at this amazing work by Fabic. Oh my goodness. And he's been posting up all these amazing things. He has this procedural generated dungeon, generated maze game. Not necessarily a dungeon, I keep calling it a dungeon. Procedurally generated maze game. It looks amazing. Every time you update it, thank you so much for keeping me in the loop, Fabic. I can't wait to check it out some more. But folks, if you have a chance, go check it out. It's incredible. Check out that link, Fabic. Thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. I appreciate it. Zupadan, it's so nice to have you here. That's right, Zupadan, amazing. That's right. G, thank you so much for the lurk, my friend. Enjoy your Easter shopping. As always, G, you are always welcome here, my friend. I can't wait to catch up with you soon. Can't wait to do it. And we also got Art Berkless here, folks. Art is an incredible, I don't know if I can do another shout out just yet, but Art, how are you? Art is an incredible indie game developer as well, making the Warlocks Gauntlet, which is a hack and slash. Let's see if we can do Art. Let's see if it'll let me do another shout. It's gonna tell me I have to wait a little bit, I think. Oh no, there we go. You can give Art some love, folks. Click that little heart button, give Art some love. Art is an amazing game developer, creating a game called The Warlock's Gauntlet, a swords and sorcery themed first-person hack and slash. He's also an incredible streamer and artist. On his stream lately, he's been doing art stuff. I've missed your last couple of streams just because I've been so busy trying to get this game jam in. 7-day game jam. It's not enough time, and it's also too much time. It's too much time because it's killing my sleep schedule. It's killing it, like wearing me down, but it's not enough time because I overscoped it. That's really what happened. But Art, thank you so much for being here, my friend, as well. It's so nice to see you on this beautiful Friday. I hope you're having a beautiful Friday, my friend. I'm so excited to show off. We're gonna do a little bit of a demo of what we have left. How long do you have left until the submission? Less than 24 hours. We're in the final stretch here. We have a playable game at this point, almost. But 22 hours. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get there. It's crunch time. I have the design of the last, so I have to make 2 more levels. I have the design of those done. and the combat needs to be where I'm hoping to implement combat here today, at least the starts of it. It's going to be relatively straightforward, like projectile type combat. It's not going to be too rough. I don't think it's going to be that complicated, but all the other stuff is sort of in place. I just have to actually do a little bit of the programming, but all of the systems are sort of in place to do it. So I'm going to do a little bit of a demo of what we have here so far. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so it's so nice. Zuper Dan, once again, thank you so much for being here, my friend. It's nice to have you. Folks, if you don't know, Zuper Dan is the host of the RPG the Dungeon Crawler Jam. Incredible. Zuper Dan, thank you again for being an amazing host, for hosting such an awesome jam. I'm so happy you're here. Happy to have you. All right, so let's take a look. The scoping here, so we had gone with, and if you guys haven't been there, you got to check out Dungeon Crawler. He's also, this particular Brad, Dungeon Crawlers.org. I think it's just dungeoncrawlers.org. Here you go. Also the owner and maintainer of dungeoncrawlers.org. Amazing stuff going over there, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Zuperdan, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. All right, so let me show you. I'm going to do a quick demo of what we have so far. So I have some polish. I've actually done a lot of polishing. I have to make the levels. I have to finish. I don't know why I got obsessed with the polishing, but I got to fix the levels. Trying to get it so that the player can learn how to use the spells was interesting, but we've overscoped a little bit. We're going to go down right now. We're going to have 8 runes. We're going to go down to 6 runes. We're going to go down to 6 runes total. So you have Sun and Moon, Yin and Yang, Body, Mind. We had Rage and Calm, but we're going to drop Rage and Calm just because of time constraints. And so there's 2 levels left to make. So let's check out what we have so far. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play here. So you can hear the amazing ambient music. I'm going to turn it up. Our composer's incredible. Turn that up. The ambient music is so awesome. Let me see if I can get the music to be a little bit louder. Here we go. If the music's too loud, let me know, folks. Sidian says, I do the game for a week, but after the jam, changing the button colors takes a day. Why? Yeah. All right, so there's going to be a little bit of an intro story, but you're sort of in this dungeon. The necromancer is your mentor. The necromancer speaks to you. Heed my word, apprentice. As above, so below. The one above all is the sun, and the one beneath all is the moon. Maintain your body and mind against those that wish to destroy you. The rageful sun deity is Sol, the manifestation of life and the energy of yin. The calm moon deity, Lun, is the manifestation of death and the energy of yang. The two cannot exist without the other. Harmony is the key for you to be at peace. Let me make this full. Let's not maximize. Hang on. There we go. For you to be at peace. I sadly cannot aid you in this quest, my dear apprentice, for these deities have but prevented me from setting foot past this purgatory. You must choose your way. The choice to go to the fiery sun, who is an overbearing yet warm presence. But be wary, my apprentice, for they are incredibly strong. The choice to go to the cool moon, who is enigmatic yet cunning presence. But be wary, my apprentice, for they are incredibly vexing. Only by you seeking to fulfill the harmony into this world will you be able to save me from my mortal coil. As you move to step away, your mentor stops you and speaks. Remember, harmony in equity is key to maintaining the dualities of self. Fail to do so and you shall start where we meet. You lack harmony. Take this harmony rune to begin this journey in duality. You reach out to take the rune. Once in your hands, it begins to vibrate. You feel a new energy enter your body. Excellent, the necromancer says. You now know the power of the harmony rune. We now have the harmony rune. If you try to move, it says, as you move to step away, your mentor stops you and speaks. Remember, harmony, it says it again. You lack harmony. Breathe deeply and use the harmony rune's energy. So we click on the harmony rune to cast this spell. Let's see, make sure all right, should be able to hear it. And it balances out these meters here. So harmonize you. So these are your sort of stats. This is the harmony spell. It will balance out those stats. All right. So we're gonna come over. So we have this sun deity. This majestic statue stands tall with its arms extended in a sign of welcome. Its face is set in a gentle expression of peace and serenity. Above its hands, a mysterious rune floats, spinning graciously in the air. MMO Pug says, you need to have the voiceover in the game. People may not like reading a lot. Okay, I don't like reading a lot. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll take the rune. You reach out for the rune, and as your fingers touch it, there's a little typo there. It begins to spin faster and vibrate. A bright, blinding light envelops you. You feel a surge of warm energy coursing through your body. After a moment, your vision returns and the rune is gone. When your vision returns, the rune is gone. Oh, I gotta fix that. There's some weird dialogue stuff I gotta fix in here. You now know the power of the sun rune. So we have the sun rune over here. The sun rune, you cast it, you get Soul's Light. Oh, there's a little UI thing. This should be on front of that. You get Soul's Light. You can drag to combine it. So if we take Harmony and drag it into Sun, it summons a little mini-map for us. Read it out loud in the stream and then just put it in there. All right. And you can also, if you have Soul's Light, you can drag it down here to generate a float. So you float with Soul's Light, so it lets you float. The mini-map only disappears. So I didn't want the mini-map to be on the screen at all times. All right. So then there's some tapestries here. These sort of tell you about the different spells. All right, so if you read these, it sort of tells you, by focusing sun energy into harmony, you can create a warm current of air to carry you safely over dangerous terrain. So we have these tapestries. These need to be a little bit better. Unfortunately, our artist has gotten sick, so I don't know if we're gonna get specific art for this here. All right, so then over here we have the moon statue, the loon statue. Zuperdan, I'm so sorry. Yeah, look away. The dark statue stands in a silent chamber, its arms extended in a gesture of supplication. Its surface is rough and uneven, a stark contrast. All right, so we can take the rune here, very similar sort of writing here, and we're gonna take that. So now we have the sun rune, we have the moon rune. You cast moon, you get a protective shade. All right, protective shade. And then you can drag moon into that. You can also peer through loon's shade. What's going on with that? I know, it's been all over the place. Okay. And then you can drag harmony to focus it into a dense ball. I need to put a little art, some graphics here. All right, so then we have the yin temple and the yang temple. So we go into the yang temple and we have the audio is so quiet here. Let me turn this up. There we go. Yeah, the app, I'm really happy with how this came out. This isn't implemented yet. There's gonna be a stairs over here. I'm gonna add stairs that go up or something. I gotta figure out where to put them. I might put them down in there, but you step on this, the gate opens. All right. Also in this area, there's an overwhelming darkness area. Your sun energy fades. So anytime you take a step in this area, it hurts you. Unless you cast moon, and moon gives you a protective shade that it's an overwhelming darkness. You have to cast light. Light will protect you in this area. All right. So, but to get past this gate, so you notice the gate opens when we step on this here. We have to cast moon, and then turn it into a dense ball. So you turn it into a dense ball. The ball holds the pressure plate in place. Then we got to turn our light back on. So then we have a maze here. That you got to search through here. So this doesn't stay up unless you. So as soon as you start moving, the idea here is that this is your eyes are closed and you're peering through Sol's light, the sun god's light. And so this will give you, as soon as you start moving, it fades. It fades. All right. So there's a bit of a maze here that you have to wander through until you find this area. And in this same spot, you end up having to hold this platform down. So you've learned that you can hold platforms down by summoning moon balls. All right. And so we come back here and we find another statue here. This statue gives you the Yang rune. All right. So we have moon, we have Yang, we have sun, and then we have to get back. All right. So we're going to go ahead and head back here. I'm going to show you the Temple of Yin next. All right. So we step on through the dark portal. We come through. We got to add some more dialogue with the mentor here. Oh, hi, Grumpy Game Dev. How are you on this beautiful Friday? I hope you're doing fabulous, my friend. I hope you're doing fabulous. All right. And then we have a bright portal hill we step through. Now we're in the Temple of Yin. All right. The Temple of Yin, similar to the Temple of Yang. Similar to the Temple of Yang, when you move into an area, there's a blinding light. So in the other one, there's a overwhelming darkness that hurts you. So if you move around, and there's also spikes in this area. There's an overwhelming light here that you take damage. You lose energy each time you step in here. So you actually have to cast a shade spell in this area. So when you have Loon Shade, you're protected. You're protected from it. All right. We have these spikes. If you're on these spikes, when they come up, you take damage. And they come up, they take damage. So there's a little bit of a puzzle here where you have to sort of hurry through here. Oh no! There's lots and lots of spikes. But if you were paying attention, you can actually float. You can float across these. Hang on. You can float across these by casting the float spell. Oh, now I'm dying because I don't have a shade. All right, so now if you're floating, you just float right across them. The float spell doesn't last long. I need to make a better indicator for when the float's about to run out, because it only lasts for 20 steps. So you can't use it forever. The air beneath you slows. So I need to add like a little warning that pops up on the screen to let you know that you're about to stop floating. You return to the ground, because it's a little bit annoying when you're moving around and you end up... All right, so if you end up taking too much damage on any of your stats, any of these stats, if they get down to 0, your body is out of harm, you can no longer continue, you faint, and you can wake up back here, and you use the harmony spell to balance yourself out. The harmony spell can only be used in this main area, So that's what we have so far. We have the Temple of Yin, we have the Temple of Yang, and next we're going to add in 2 more. We're going to have the Temple of Body and the Temple of Mind. Those are the 2 levels we're going to do. I have them sort of designed out here. I have the puzzles for those sort of designed out. Zuper Dan, I'm done with spoilers, my friend, for the most part. I'm done with most of the spoilers. Nerd Waffle says, the game is looking good. Thanks, Nerd Waffle. I appreciate it. I am really happy. Really happy with how this has come out. I'm really happy. Log4Jack says, it's a beautiful game, Captain. Very classic link feel. Reminds me of Doom and Skyrim crossover in a very relaxing format. The ambient music is just so good. Oh, that would be easy, Art. Yeah, that would be super easy, actually. Let's play around. I can show you. I have it set up here in our player controller. We just come over here and say float. Float here. Art says, maybe this is too much. Could you make it float a bit higher? It still feels like you're in danger of getting cut by the spikes at the elevation. And then you could get down on half height once you have... Oh, I really like that idea. I really like that idea. So we have range here. All right. Maybe I add... I really like this idea. Let's see if we can do that real quick, because that's super easy to do, I think, here. Let's go check out what it looks like on each of the heights so we can check whether or not we have what feels safe. So this is a great suggestion, Art, for such an incredible suggestion, my friend. 50 points here. We're going to see if we can add that in really quick here. All right, so let's balance ourselves out. Let's cast light. Let's give ourselves, I always cast the wrong spell. Oh yeah, and you can just drag any, notice when you drag the combination of these, it sort of spells out the spell here. So it is set up, you can make like more interesting combinations. But let's give ourselves a float here. All right, so we can even change how fast we float. All right, change how fast we float. I think I might want to add an offset here, but we can also change how far we float as well. So I think what we need is we need to make it be a little bit higher, right? So we need sort of like this starting offset of being higher in it. So let's look at the player float controller here. Oh, I love this music so much. This music in this is the composer is so incredible on this project. The composer who joined the team here, I'm just like, I've never done ambient music like that. So I've composed music, but it's always sort of like traditional orchestral type music. Their ambience is, oh, I love it so much. And they have, they've created, oh, I'm really excited for this. I got to set it up right, but they've added in, for each of the areas with the different music, there's also sort of like this combat layer when enemies are nearby that will fade in to add in some like, intensity to it. And it sounds great. It sounds super awesome. So I'm super, you know, it's all on me now. It's all on me to get it finished. All right, so with the public variables, folks, don't hate me too much. I'm catching my breath here. The public variables here are bad practice. Don't do this. I'm in a rush. So don't do all these bad programming practices. I told people we we're gonna be doing bad programming this week. Offset Y. We're gonna set this. Let's try 2F to start out, and then we're gonna say if we are floating, let's add in the offset Y as well. Offset Y. Grumpy Dev says, so don't do it unless you're in a rush. No. Exactly. Grumpy Game Dev, that's my friend. The Grumpy Game the Grumpy Dame Give. No, the Grumpy I can't talk. I you know, yesterday was like a, you know, I was saying like 4 or 5 saying 3 coffee day. Yesterday was like a 6 coffee day. Grumpy Game Dev, forget me to laugh so much. 50 points to you, my friend. No, normally I try and do just good. I try and do really good programming practices. But on a game, so what I do say though is if you are building prototypes, it's much more okay to just hack things together. All right, so we're gonna add in what is going on here? All right, we'll take that out. We have this offset Y, so this is gonna force us to a specific height, and then we'll have in the bob. Okay, so let's come on back here. Corfless returning for combat. Welcome back, Corfless. Nice to have you here on this beautiful day. How are you doing? Sorry I didn't reply to your message. I did see it. I've just been kind of swamped here on my end this week, hammering through this stuff. Let's go see if this float looks a little bit better here. Game Dev says, the Grumpy Game Dev says, you can hack away at prototypes because the people you work for never ship. Yeah, oh, this is too high. This is too high. What do you think? Art, is this too high? Are we too high now? Oh yeah, when you harmonize, you lose it. I also probably need to make it, have you slowly float down, or in the perfect world, it would have you float down. Let's try this here. I think that's a little too high. That is definitely hitting the ceiling. You're definitely safe from the spikes at this height. Maybe you're not going through the ceiling, so I think I'm okay with it a little bit. I think making it bob faster, and then we're gonna slow the, I like this. All right, let's add in our shade here just so we can see what it looks like. Let's come up above, so you no longer see the spikes. Let me lower you just a little bit. This looks good without being overly high. What about 1? 2.5, 1.5. I think we'll do 1.5. But now you can't see like the things. I also need to make it if you're floating that you can't press pressure plates. But I'm gonna just leave that out for now. This seems okay. Lo-Fi Craft, good day, my friend. Good day to you. Welcome aboard. Happy to have you here. All right, we're gonna go with 1.5. I kind of like this little setting here. 1.5. And we're gonna go with Bob's speed was 3. Okay, so as it begins to wear off, player ability controller. Let's see. I think it must be on the float ability. The air beneath you, your feet begins to swirl. The air beneath you slows. So when this happens, we need to go set the player float controller. So this is on the same. All right. So our player float controller. We need to. All right. Again, don't abuse. Art says, personally, I like floating high like this. It adds something to get that different perspective of your surroundings and allows you to enjoy the flight fantasy. I agree. I think this is such a great suggestion. Also, Devro, it's going beautifully well, my friend. I got a little bit of a throat thing going on, so our stream's probably going to be a little bit short. I don't know if I'm a little worried someone's going to click follow because I don't know if I can sing today. Grumpy Game Dev says, make them properties and you're all good anyway. Yeah, I should. But then I have to type more things out. We're going to abuse the singleton pattern a little bit more here today. Player, float, controller, instance. Typing is the worst. This is I have such bad practice. So I can't change them now to properties because I have to like reset them everywhere throughout Unity. So I've just been just not good. It's been bad, folks. Don't do it. Don't be me. Instance equals this. Normally I would try and build much more robust systems. All right, so we can get our player float controller here. So in our float ability, yeah. So there's a little bit of a thing here. Float ability. When you start flying, you reach ball, the air beneath your feet begins to warm and swirl into an air. We got to do player float controller dot instance dot offset y equals 1.5 is what we decided. Like this. The Grumpy Game Dev, sometimes the only purpose we have is an example of what not to do, and by sometimes I mean always. Yeah. Yeah. And we also are gonna make this the speed on it. I like this. The Bob speed we set to 3. All right. And then when we go to half here, we're going to put it here. This Bob half. This is gonna come off to 0.75, and the Bob speed will also slow. Let's see what that looks like. Art says, don't sing. Seems like a bad idea. Maybe rap. The rapping captain. I don't know about that. Or make a list of new followers and compose a small compensatory opera for when your throat is. But that's a good idea. That's a great idea. I've been thinking about that. I get a lot. So this is always kind of strange. I always get like 3 to 5 new followers because I put the videos on YouTube and then I also post on Reddit. I usually get like 2, I'd say 3 to 5. Typically, when I post a something on Reddit, I get like 3 to 5 followers. And I always feel a little bad that they don't get a song. So I was kind of thinking, oh great, now we have a new member of the crew, folks. We're gonna give it a try. Retonator. Retonator, welcome my friend for following me today. Retonator, I would like to welcome you to the academy. Thank you for following me today. Retonator, hey, I would like to thank you. Singing's not bad. Okay, I just can't go high. I can tell that I'm not gonna be able to go very high. I think I can actually go lower when I have this throat thing going on. Oh, I can go low. Normally I wouldn't be able to get that low. But there's a little bit of something in there slowing down, grabbing onto my vocal cords a little bit. I wouldn't want to sing any higher than what I sing right there, though. But we have the Retonator. Thank you for following me. I'd like to thank you for following me, Retonator. Retonator, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. I hope you're having yourself a beautiful, beautiful day. Shiny, it's coming along beautifully well, my friend. All right, let's turn this on. We're adding in. We have a flying spell. The flying spell feels like to fly it should go the other way. Should go up like that. All right, let's put the shade on just so we can see it here. Yeah, this feels pretty good. All right, so let's see if we notice when we start returning to the ground. All right, so we can move across the spikes. It was pretty obvious. It was pretty obvious now that it's slowing down. Okay, and then you return there. Art, what an excellent suggestion. Thank you so much for that suggestion. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Get status. Let's go ahead and commit this, my friend. Get, what's going on? Status, get add, get commit, get commit, dash M. Feet, add a higher offset Y and layers to float ability. Beautiful idea. Really nice when something easy like that to implement that makes a big difference. Shiny says, I always feel like I'll get lost on a type game without a minimap because of the way the movement is. So check it out. So one of the issues I have with the mini maps is you end up using just the mini map and not paying attention to the environment itself. But so here was sort of my solution to the mini map is there's a spell called Loon's Eye that will summon a mini map for you. But when you move now I can't move, hang on. When you move, come on. When you move away, it fades. All right, so you can summon a mini map. There's a Loon's Eye, and then there is also the other. So I don't want you to have the whole map at all times. So the idea is your eyes are closed, and so if I had more time, I'd make it so like everything but the map fades away. All right, but yeah, so you can like cast a spell to get a mini map if you want one. All right, and so it gives you sort of a relatively big area, but the idea is you're sensing, you're filling the area. You close your eyes and you're peering through the shade. So Loon, the moon god, you can peer through the shade. But when you move, it sort of fades out. So that was sort of my compromise. So it's kind of like, you know what, having a little mini map on there all the time is something I don't want, but I do want the player to be able to have a map. And so that was my compromise there. Oh, also I added a spell book, so we do have a list of all the spells you can cast here. So Sun summons a ball of light, Float, we have Harmony, we have Soul's Eye, we have Loon's Eye, we have Loon's Shade, and we have Density, which lets us focus. Okay, so what do we want to actually get done today? It's gonna be a relatively short stream here today, folks. But I'm gonna see if we can get a little bit of something done. Game of the Year 2023. No, not even. I do think it's a really cool concept and idea. I want to add a projectile spell type because I want to add a fireball and an ice ball spell. So this is going to be part of combat, and then we're going to add in hopefully an enemy placeholder. So I'm thinking the projectile spell won't be too hard to implement. So I need to have a projectile first. And so I'm going to create a prefab in here, just be our generic projectile prefab. Projectile. All right, let's create a folder called projectile. I'm amazed that when I say I'm amazed that I've actually produced so much here in a week. It goes to show that I've learned quite a bit about Unity, and I've impressed myself with this project, everybody. I've been really happy. This project is so much. I've had so much fun doing it, but I'm really not to toot my own horn or anything too much, but I have just really enjoyed it. I can't believe how much I've managed to actually accomplish in essentially 5 days of programming. I didn't do Did I do? I'm regretting not doing more I essentially didn't do any programming on Saturday, and I regret that greatly. Because I could really be using that time. I could really have used that time. Saturday I did planning, and I purposely didn't do any programming because I wanted to wait to do it on stream. I wish I hadn't done that. All right, so this is our projectile here. We just want to add in a particle system. We're going to add in a particle. Where's particle? Effects. We're going to add in a particle system. And this is sort of going to be our ball. So I want to get all the particles in here. And maybe this shouldn't just be a generic projectile, actually. But I think we're going to do a prefab variant on each of these. Anyway, I want to get the main idea down here. So let's, let me pull this out here. The idea is I want sort of like a ball that has a trail that comes out behind it. So let's make the range emission shape. The shape here, rather than being a cone, can we make it a sphere? Can we 0.5? Hang on. Gotta add, I can never quite remember exactly how to do this. Rate over time, 100. And then the distance, I think we want to change the start speed. Yeah. So we'll sort of have a project, let's do 0.5. There we go, 0.2. So we'll have like this ball of energy that's going here. And then what the idea is, as this thing moves, it should, oh no. It should leave those particles behind it as it floats in a direction. So we'll say we're going to set the lifetime to 3. All right. So as it floats away, and then I also think I want to add into it a what is it called? A trail. So I think I do want to have a trail. And so this will sort of make it so that it'll have like a streak behind it as we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. We're gonna add it to a scene and see if we can get it to look kind of nice, moving away from us. Yeah, so this is why I say, like, I've learned so much about Unity that my product, Unity, I think I've said before, before I started using Unity, I had some relatively bad impressions of it based on having looked at a lot of tutorials. But once I started learning, I feel like they've done a really excellent job at creating, what can I say? They've done a really excellent job at creating a set of systems for doing so many cool things. And I suspect the same thing's true for Godot and also for Unreal Engine. I just haven't used those. My biggest complaint about Unity is that the tutorials teach a lot of what are called anti-patterns, and which are essentially bad programming practices, which sort of make you fall into this trap long term. If you're trying to make a big project, you fall into this trap where you can't scale your project well. And so all of the tutorials seem to focus on like just slapping stuff together, getting it to work. And I think they should put like some serious disclaimers. In my mind, they need to put disclaimers saying like, hey, this is, we're talking in this tutorial, we're specifically talking about this system. In practice, you wouldn't do it this way. You would want to X, Y, or Z. You'd want to, look at this other thing. But just to show you the mechanics of how this feature works. Anyway, so that's my biggest complaint with Unity. All right, so we're going to add this to a scene. And see if we can add into it a way. So it needs a direction. Needs scripts, camera lighting map, events, player. Let's create a folder here for abilities. And we're going to put it in projectiles here. Let's see here. Nerd Waffle says, oh, the stream went down. Oh, so sad, so sad. I upset the Unity gods. That's hilarious. That was a sizable hiccup. Yeah, I didn't notice. But thank you guys so much. I'm back. And create a script here. This is going to be our projectile controller. And essentially we have a direction and a velocity. Those are the two things we need for our projectile. Our projectile has a direction, a velocity, and it looks like it looks like, well, we'll see here. We'll see if we're back for real or not this time. Back again. Guess who's back again? It's the Captain Coden. If you can read our messages, then I'm back. I can read your messages. So we're going to keep going here. I'm making a projectile. The idea here, all right. So we're going to try and do this private direction, private, or we'll do a public. We're going to make it a property. We'll make it a property this time. I think it's going to be a property this time. I think it's going to be like a direction. A direction. I wonder. Yeah, I think the best way for me to do this is make it take in my direction this way. Direction. Get. Probably want to have just like a get set here. So I do want my projectiles to be able to change direction. So you have the yin and yang are going to work. It's like you can use yin and yang together to create these portals. So I like portal in my mind, you can create a yin portal and a yang portal. If you step into one, it goes to the other. So I do kind of think I want to add in that feature here. So the idea would be that you can set up your yin portal or your yang portal so that way a projectile going through it will go through a wall to complete a puzzle. So I have an idea for that. So I do want my projectile to be able to change directions mid-flight. So we're going to create a field, serialized field here. So we have a direction, and then we're going to have a velocity as well. Public float velocity. And this velocity is essentially going to be a set amount. I think all projectiles are going to move at the same speed, although that could be a lie. Okay, so we essentially want this to be in our fixed update, and I think we're going to have to add a collider to this. We might have to add colliders to all of our walls too, because I kind of want to make it so if it collides with a wall, that's sort of what makes it disappear. We're going to do that later. For now, I want to get this to go in fixed update. Really, I don't even know if I have to put I don't know if I have to put anything in fixed update, actually. When we start here, I need to figure out which direction, what direction the projectile actually moves. So I need to calculate the direction in my map space of where it needs to go, and then using that, specify the direction vector. So I think on start, this is gonna need a rigid body. Okay, so we do need a rigid body on our projectile because that will let us use physics on it. So set the velocity. We do need to have a rigid body. Like that. It's going to be kinematic. It's not going to be affected by gravity. Yeah, so our orthogonal directions is like pretty classic to the dungeon crawler idea. So yes, you'll only be able to follow orthogonally, but I'm planning on letting there be portals to change the direction. There'll be things that cause, in the perfect world, if I was able to get everything done, there'll be things that can change the direction of the projectile. And so some of the puzzles I have planned for the next 2 levels sort of involve shooting projectiles that get redirected based on the way portals are set. G, thank you so much for hanging out with me, my friend. Have yourself a beautiful day. As always, keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be, and I'll see you next time. You are welcome back anytime, my friend. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so we have a rigid body on this. And so let's do require component type of rigid body. And we're going to get the rigid body here. So private rigid body Rigid body, Lobster Kovic, I see you. Lobster Kovic, how are you on this beautiful day, my friend? How the heck are you? Void awake. Rigid body is equal to get component rigid body, like that. Rigid body. Folks, I'm so sorry I haven't been shouting out people today. I've been really, folks, I'm kind of sick. I'm just a little bit sick. That's right. ITC Studios is our what was it? Our stream sponsor today. Our stream sponsor. Lobster says I'm fine, Harry. I'm actually doing quite beautiful. We're pushing to the end. We're gonna drag ourselves over the finish line here very shortly. Or actually, you know, I'm probably gonna code for another 12 hours on this today, but we're very close to having a thing that is playable. The first, we have 2 levels complete. I got to finish 2 more levels. We're adding in projectiles right now, as there's going to be puzzles that are based on projectiles, and also projectiles are going to let us is how we're going to deal with enemies. So we're going to have some magic spells we can cast. So we're going to have a fireball spell and an ice ball spell. Depending on which enemy you're fighting, the fireball spell will hurt some or whatever. In my mind, I know how it works. I don't want to. It's hard for me to explain right now. My brain's a little bit, or like, I don't know how to talk. Okay, and we also want to make it so, this makes sense. So our direction, hang on, this is going to be public, private, direction, like this. This is a, we're going to go ahead and serialize that field, and then this thing is going to be a getter setter. This has to update the velocity. When this changes, the velocity changes. All right. And it also kind of needs to snap to the grid where it's at. So there's some interesting things I got to do with this here. It's a little bit more complicated than I want. Direction equals value. But since I want to be able to change the direction, this will have to update the velocity when this changes. It's going to sort of snap it to something. We got to keep them. Yeah. There's this idea here where this needs to keep track of something. Okay. Let's when we start, we have our rigid body dot velocity. We have to calculate which direction we're going. So I actually think I can kind of do this with my direction dot move position. So this is going to give me the position in world space that I move to. There might be some translation to this though. So I'm gonna do a thing here called private void direction to velocity. All right, and this can be a static method, and it's gonna return a vector 3, and it's gonna take in a position direction. And so we'll return null for now. Oh, return default for now. Return default. But the idea is I can set my velocity. This way, when we start, we'll do direction to velocity, and then this is going to be the direction that we're facing. And then whenever we change our direction, we do rigid. We're gonna have to snap it to the grid, so there's a little bit of a trick to make that. We're gonna do rigid body dot velocity equals direction to velocity direction. I'm gonna do direction. We're gonna do a to do snap to grid, because we don't want it to be sort of like what Art was talking about. Is since we're on an orthogonal grid, we want it to not. If we were to change it mid-flight, it would not be on a grid properly anymore. So I'm gonna have to do something. I have an idea of how to accomplish this. That said, folks, I do have to step away just for a minute. Bear with me. I shall return shortly. Sorry about that. Captain's back, folks. Thanks for bearing with me. Let's keep moving forward here. Yeah, so we have to calculate our direction to a velocity. All right, so luckily our direction, we can get sort of like an int. This is like an int row, int column. If we do direction dot move position like this will actually get us back 2 integers. So this is like of like the direction, if you are facing this direction, this is how you would move on the map. So there's some translation I gotta do to like an XY with this. I don't think it's too crazy. I don't think it would be too crazy. So let's play around with this. Let's see if we can get this to do the direction we want. I'm just gonna start by default saying, all right, new new vector 3. So let's try row column and see what that looks like. And then I'll fiddle around. I think the easiest thing to do would just be like observe and go like, oh, okay, I need to put a minus here or swap them around, that sort of thing. That said, I need to be able to create one of these in the world. So I'm gonna basically give my player, I'm gonna create a spell for my player that lets me do this. Or maybe I just make it so I click a button. Let's make a really, really easy, simple spell here. We're gonna make the, all right, let's go to our abilities folder, player abilities. Just needs to, where do player abilities, rune ability, where have I put my abilities before? Float abilities, scripts, abilities. I have an abilities folder already. Scripts, abilities, there it is. Create, we're gonna duplicate one of these. We'll duplicate the balance ability and we're gonna call this one fireball ability. Okay, the fireball ability is going to have a prefab on it. So public, we'll call it fireball. Fireball ability. Fireball 1 or 2 words. Fireball 1 or 2 words. Well, I don't know. Let's take a look here. Fireball 1 or 2 words. Word fireball is a noun, it's 1 word. Okay, so fireball. I don't know. Fire and ball are words. Fireball is 1 word. Fascinating. It's gonna be fireball ability. And just because I'm crazy, let's change this to fireball ability. You know, I talked about wasting time here and there, and then I spend all this time getting the naming. I'm really bad at naming. What a nice username, haha. What a nice username, haha. Welcome to the crew. What a nice username, haha. I would like to welcome you on this beautiful Friday. I welcome thee today. Thank you so much for the follow. What a nice name, haha. Welcome aboard, my friend. That's a beautiful name. That's a beautiful, wonderful name. How the heck are you on this beautiful day? How the heck are you? What a nice username says, good to be here. I'm glad you're here, my friend. I'm glad you're here. We are working on the Dungeon Crawler Jam 2023. The height of this is going to have to be higher too. I think we're going to put it at 2.5 to start out. That's rotation. Let's do 2.5. Dramulks, my friend. Welcome back again. Corflip says, I also drink coffee at night, so sleep is a bye-bye. You gotta be careful with that, my friend. All right, so we're in the process of adding in this ability here. This ability, when it gets used, there's gonna be some stuff in here that we gotta do. Essentially, we're gonna say, you know, maybe not even display a message here, but we have, all right, so let's add in our fireball ability public int sun cost. All right, so it's gonna cost 10 sun, public int yin, is it yin? Yeah, yin cost is gonna be 10. So it's gonna use sun and yin to cast this spell. Maybe I'll make it 15. Just to like make it a little bit more interesting, I don't know. Sun and yin cost We can only cast it if we have enough of both of these. So we're gonna say we can cast if Dramok says, love the new spellbook, Captain. Yes, I needed to add something in to make it maybe a little, maybe I need to add a little thing that says you can click on the spellbook. I don't know how obvious it is up there, but it's super important for the user to be able to know, hey, these are the spells I'm able to cast. I was having trouble teaching the user that you can drag them two different directions, right? So harmony to sun and then sun to harmony, or harmony to sun is a different spell than sun to harmony. And that is not obvious. That is not obvious, but you're a pro gamer. That's right. You're a programmer. Okay. So, player dot stats dot stat, sun cost, player stat dot sun. Sorry, is it just stat dot sun? Yeah, is greater than sun cost. Oh no, if it's less than sun cost, we're gonna put you do not have enough. You do not have enough sun energy. Okay. And this one is gonna be yin cost. So if you don't have enough yin here, yin cost, you do not have enough yin energy. So you need enough energy to cast these. Okay, otherwise we return true. So those are the requirements for this spell. And then on use, all right, so we need to create a public game object, and maybe this should actually be projectile controller projectile. This will be able to set what projectile this one summons. And so this is why maybe I should make a projectile subclass, but that's okay. We're in a time crunch. We're in a bit of time crunch. Let's make sure everything's compiling. Let's come back here. Okay, so we're gonna summon this at the player's position. So we have to instantiate. We're gonna instantiate the projectile. It's gonna instantiate the projectile controller. We're gonna call this projectile controller. We gotta add it to the map that the player's on, and then do a translation to the correct position. Ooh, this is interesting. Projectile controller, projectile. So in my map builder, really my player movement controller. I can just put it where my player is. Player movement controller. Daniel of the Dark says, hello, Captain. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was sleeping while listening to podcasts. No worries, my friend. No worries, my friend. You know, no pressure to be here at any specific time. There's no pressure to be here at any specific time. I appreciate you being here, of course, but there's never any pressure to be here at a specific time. We're gonna do maybe there will be a casting time on this. I don't know. I think I just want to make it so it fires it immediately though, and then plays it. I need to add a sound to it as well. Public audio clip sound. Oh, maybe. That's what I'll do. I'll add the sound effect to the projectile, so it's like a burning sound that moves away from you. Actually, that wouldn't be that hard to add either. All right, so we have a projectile here. I need to get it in the right position, so it's going to be projectile, or we got to get the player movement controller dot instance dot current map. All right, let's look at the map that we're on. Our map loader controller. Oh, are we a child of this? Let's go look at what this is doing. The object that transforms. We're gonna have to do this to our projectile. So our projectile dot transform is this. Yeah. So we'll call this game object map. Game object map.transform. So we're going to put the projectile on there, and then we need to set its local position. Daniel says, yesterday I ran 1 mile and my legs hurt. Your legs hurt. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, running a mile is good for you, my friend. I feel like I haven't run a mile since in a long time. I ended up getting kind of heavy. So at one point I weighed 280 pounds. And so I used to run a lot when I was in high school, and then in college I got kind of heavy. And then I lost a bunch of weight. I should get back into running. I used to love it. Yeah, I used to have a really good mile time. Or I thought it was a really good mile time. My coach when I was in high school, my coach I was never on track. There was a coach that was really frustrated with me that I wasn't on the track team. Running from the police. No, not running from the police. Let's not run from the police. Okay, so we're gonna do map our projectile dot transform dot local position is going to be equal to, I'm just going to set it to the player's position for now. Player movement controller dot instance dot game object dot transform dot position dot local position. Okay, so we're going to try this. This should bring a fireball into the world. When we cast this spell, I have to actually cast this spell here. Let's look at the balance ability real quick. I want to make it you focus your energies into a fireball. Maybe we'll add a casting time to it, but I don't think in combat you'll want to be able to do it very, very quickly. So let's create an instance of this ability. What's going on here? Have on use. Yield. All right, and we'll just do yield break. Why am I not getting red squiggly lines? Depends on what type of combat you have. Not going to be turn-based. It's not going to be turn-based. It's going to be like in the world, things are moving around, and you're shooting projectiles, and they're shooting projectiles. So it's not turn-based dynamics, but really, really simple combat with enemies just sort of moving around and firing projectiles. I didn't want to do turn-based combat because implementing turn-based combat is like really hard to do, and even harder to make it interesting. It's really hard to do and hard to make interesting. What is this error saying? That out parameter never gets set. All right, so this will just be message equals string.empty. I actually love a really good turn-based combat system. It's just really hard to make it interesting and not just grindy and boring. That's the issue. It's more RPG than dungeon crawler. Yeah. A really good one, yeah, it's great, but most are meh. I have an idea for a really, really cool turn-based combat system, but I don't know how interesting it would actually be, and I think that would take me like a whole week to implement on its own. But I have an idea for an interesting combat system that I'd love to talk about at some point. Not today. So can cast here. Okay, so we have this. I don't know why. I'm gonna reload. Am I just in the wrong directory here? I'm gonna reload this window because it's not getting like error messages in there that I should be getting, and hopefully that'll fix it. But in our player abilities, we're gonna add in the fireball ability. Create body mind ability fireball. All right, so this is a fireball ability. This would be fireball. Focuses sun and yin energy into a fiery projectile. The phrase is gonna be yin sun, so that's gonna be 2-1. Yin sun. 2-1. Let's add do we want a cast sound? For now, that'll be easy to add in. We'll just do the sun ball of light spell. We'll just have a generic sound in there. And the projectile is going to be in our prefab here. Did I actually? I don't think I added the projectile. Yeah, projectile controller. Can't add component rigid body 2D. Oh, hang on. I put the wrong component on there. Projectile controller. This should be a type rigid body. Let's have this compile again real quick. Corphless. Referring to Darkest Dungeon being grindy. Yes, Darkest Dungeon is a bit grindy. I really enjoyed Darkest Dungeon, but it does wear you down. It does wear you down, in my mind it does. We're gonna go with a velocity of 3, and we're gonna see when we cast this thing which direction our projectile flies. Let me do this so we can actually be in the space with our player. Let's move our player. I'm gonna make it so we shouldn't. All right, reset on start is off. Let's put ourselves in the yin map. And move ourselves to the yin map. And then we'll set our row and column. Let's turn on yin map just so we can see it here. Oh, wow. There's a lot of audio controllers in there. Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming out. I actually have the pre-release of it, so it's pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit here. Okay, just move ourselves inside the dungeon somewhere. That's right on a spike. What if I move myself here? Okay, so now we're not on a spike. Let's run this. Let's see if our projectile, which direction our projectile goes. And I'm gonna move myself into, I'm gonna click birds. Oh, bird's eye camera probably won't show it actually. Zoom in on our player here, just so we can watch. Or I can just, actually I'm gonna zoom out like this and I'm gonna hide my ceilings in my yin dungeon. So that way I can just see. Why am I still seeing it? Am I in? Oh, that's on my entrance. In my yin generated grid. Ceilings, let's hide that. Just so I can see which direction see if we get to a slightly open space here. There are no slightly open spaces. All right. I'm trying to find a spot where a shoot will go. Okay, here we go. In this spot, I'll be able to see it. Hopefully, go in any specific direction. We're gonna give myself the. Oh, I need to rebuild that real quick. We give myself the yin rune. Yin rune. So we have the yin rune. Nothing happens. Okay, so then in my abilities here, the team manifest. I need to rebuild my ability manifest. And then in my spell book, let me check, make sure. I should have Fireball now. Fireball Sun. Sun energy that way. Okay, so we take this. I didn't see anything. Well, something did. The object you want to instantiate is null. That makes sense. Because I didn't set it. So let's go to our yin or our Fireball ability here. This didn't have the projectile on it. I thought I just added that. It wouldn't let me. All right, I gotta stop here. Fire projectile. I need to add it to this. It does have it. Fireball. What? Can I not put you there? Oh, okay. It just didn't show up. For some reason, it didn't show up as an option. Okay, let's try now. Try it again. Hopefully, it'll let me shoot that fireball now. And then we do also have like a burning sound. I have like a spell, like a sound to put on that in general. Okay. Let's turn our ceilings off one more time. Let's rotate this way. Just see if it fires at all. There it is. The velocity seems to be quite non-existent or incredibly slow. Super slow fireball. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on with that. And I'm gonna set my starting position here. All right, so this position, if I go to my player controller, what position am I in? Player controller, 2, 4 south. We'll do 2, 4 south. 2, 4, and then south. Okay, so we'll start in that spot. Let's go look at my projectile here. Velocity is 3. What did I do here? Velocity, this needs to be times direction to velocity, times, oh, there's a little bit of an issue here, times velocity. Can I not multiply vectors by velocities? An object reference is required. Oh, okay. So direction to velocity, times velocity, and then we'll do on start times velocity. Lance, good morning, my friend. So nice to see you on this beautiful Friday. How are you doing? How the heck are you? And this is actually should be 0 column, or it shouldn't move in our Y direction. This is interesting. It's super interesting to me here. Let's give it a shot again, just to see. I thought a velocity of 1 would be reasonable. A reasonable speed on it. Did I get any exceptions? There were no exceptions. All right, let's try again. Let's try it again, folks. We're gonna give it another go. See if we can shoot a fireball. Turn my ceiling off again. Something. Is it even moving? I can't tell. Let's go to, let's click on this thing. Where did it get added into? It should be projectile. Changing the velocity here is not going to do anything. Well, it's on the rigid body's velocity. So maybe velocity is to its movement. So the velocity must. Oh! I need to reduce its drag or something. Is messed up. Yeah. It needs to be. You're right. Void fixed update. Like this. Okay. Let's see if that does it. But I also think that we need to reduce. Well, it's kinematic. I don't understand why. Why would the velocity be getting set back down? It shouldn't. This is me just not understanding physics. Drag 0, angular drag 0. It's okay. So then it should ignore gravity. Let's do ignore gravity. Maybe it doesn't need to be kinematic. Ignore gravity. No drag. So I don't want it to have any drag on it. I think that makes some sense. I don't know. Maybe it makes sense. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know how anything works. But yeah, I think you're right. Kinematic makes it so it won't move at all. All right, let's try again. There we go. Still super slow. And it's firing not in the correct direction, which we knew that was going to be an issue, right? Let's change this velocity to 10. Still too slow. 20. There we go. I like that speed. I need a. I am going to be using collision detection, so I want it to be in fixed update. Lance says, if the rigid body is set to kinematic, that means it will still interact with simulated. However, rigid body's setting velocity will not apply. Yeah, so I want this to interact with I think the easiest way to see if it hits an enemy is just have a collision detection on a specific tiles. So it'll check when it moves into tiles whether or not there's an enemy there or something it needs to interact with. All right, so 20 seems to be the right number. Our direction's wrong. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why in my brain, for whatever reason, that was not the case. Okay, so the direction is wrong. So I'm gonna try it. I think one direction was right, the other one's wrong. So I think we need to sort of one of them needs to be negative this direction. What direction is this? If I look at my player, the X direction needs to be inverted, which I think makes sense because we're doing our up and down. When you move north, we actually go south. Oh, sorry. When you move north, your position actually is decreasing. The row position is actually decreasing, I believe. So let's try that. Let's try that. Lance asks, ITC Studios, you've had Dreams in Pixels, haven't you? Yes. I don't know if Woomy has. I know I have. Let's try this, see if it goes the right direction now. And we probably need to center it a little bit as well. There we go. Yeah, so we'll have to center it on our player position slightly. So if we come into our projectile here, I'm just gonna move the particle system. I think to center it on here, we do 2. I think it's 2 or -2. Let's try that. Let's do 2. Boom. Sweet. All right, so if I change directions, oh, it still fires that. Oh, it needs to take the player's direction. Okay, it's not taking the player's direction into account. So actually, what direction? I think we did happen to be facing the right direction, north. Okay, so it just so happened we did get that right. But when we create this thing, I need to set the direction here. And so we should also be able to now change it mid flight. We should be able to change it. Projectile.direction is equal to player movement controller.instance.direction facing. Okay, let's see what that does. So we should be able to shoot it now, whichever direction we're facing. I hope if this code was correct, we can shoot it whichever direction we are facing. And hopefully I'm not running out of, let's watch my energies up here. I think I might be running low on, oh, I don't think I ever actually consumed that energy. There's one other thing here. I set it so you have to specify it, but we also have to use that energy. So we're gonna actually do player.stats. This is terrible here. Sun, moon, stats. This should take, .stat. Okay, sun, moon. So using sun energy, we'd minus equals sun cost, and then player.stats.stat dual stat dot yin cost, yin yang. So this would also be minus equal yin cost, I believe. And we'll just make sure it goes both. We'll check it out, make sure it works. Terrible's allowed. It's a game jam. Yes, I'm giving myself freedom to hack, to be a hack. Dot value. There's a mix of good and terrible programming practices here. All right, let's see how this works. But yeah, it's getting overly complex. The last break was -99. Oh my goodness. That's probably because I know why that happens. It's because I left fire. All right. Okay, so now, all right, so that direction works. That direction works. That direction's incorrect. It should go behind us there. Okay. See where that terrible code gets you, MMO Pug. Yeah, short overflow. Alright, so do I need to... Alright, so it looks like I may have had this correct initially to begin with. Or is it both? One of them is correct. Let's try this. Alright, I could probably think it through a little bit and that would be okay. Oh no, so it's going, it looks like it's going the correct way that way. Let's do, all right, it might have just been correct to begin with. And I fixed it for no, quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes, fixed it. All right, Unity, build for me, baby. Here we go. Let's give it a shot here. Let's run it. Did the jam end or are you still rushing to finish line? We've got about 20 hours left. We've got about 20 hours left. I need to make 2 more levels. I need to make 2 more levels. There we go, projectile. You don't have enough energy, I can't harmonize here. It's too dangerous to harmonize. Let's, oh, I can just adjust, why don't die. I can just give myself more energy. More energy here, value. I need more yin. Give myself more energy here. A projectile. Okay, so the north and south projectile needs to be adjusted slightly. I think it's 0.5 is the correct. It's either 0.5, negative 0.5, negative 0.5. So like the walls, there's like this weird offset. Is it negative? Negative 1.5? Is that what it is? There we go. Amount of energy. Let's give ourselves more. Oh, wrong direction. Let's give ourselves more yin. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Let's cap. Dramux, 20 hours, that's an eternity. It feels like it sometimes. Both a good and a bad eternity because I'm exhausted, but I gotta get through it. Let's cap. You done fixed what ain't broke. Dang it all. I done fixed what ain't broke. That's right. Okay, cool. So we have projectiles. Sweet, sweet. I'm really having it. You focus your energies into a fireball. Okay, so we just gotta make him actually collide with stuff. I'm gonna sleep so well after the submission. You are correct. You are correct. And up to, you know, I'm hoping. Yeah, there's so much. I still have to make like the itch page and stuff too. I'm hoping. I'm hoping our artist will do it. Well, I've already designed the levels, Dramux. I've already designed the levels. So I don't have to like design levels, I just have to put them together. But yes, I am getting close. I'm feeling confident I can get it done though. I feel confident. I've already designed the levels. I just have to get this little combat git commit -m chore add basic projectiles. Okay. So you were here, you saw this, you just witnessed the very simple projectile spell. Now, spell type, we're gonna create a fireball version and an ice ball version of it. The one thing that is interesting is that because the particle system itself isn't moving, I think that we're not seeing any of the trails on it, but I'm kind of okay with it. We're just gonna move forward. I can fiddle around with that later if I need to. Is that what's going on here? Is I'm not seeing trails because of that? That's all right. That's all right. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna duplicate our projectile. We're gonna create a prefab variant. All right, this one's gonna be called our fireball projectile. And our fireball projectile essentially is just, I'm just changing the color. Just changing the color, and I might make it so it has multiple colors on it. Emission, shape, velocity, color over lifetime. Okay, so I want to add in 2 colors. I want to go from red to, and I think our opacity. What's going on here? Red to yellow. So this idea of it cooling off here. I'm a little surprised that that didn't do anything. Why didn't that start color? Why didn't that do anything? Is the lifetime not long enough? Should have relatively big lifetime. 3. Huh. Huh. Does anyone know what's going on there? Set start color to white. Yeah, that did. Oh, it is kind of doing it. I want to go from. Do I just have too many? So like I'm not seeing it here. Arts says, I'll be going for a walk to get a modicum of exercise for my diseased limbs. I hope to see some more of your game later. It's looking really nice, Captain. Have yourself a beautiful day, Art. As always, keep coding. Oh, you're saying up here. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Yes, that's correct. I need to put the color here to white. There we go. Perfect. Fabic. You are amazing. Fabic, for your contributions, my friend. 50 points to you. I appreciate it very much. Let's rename this. I spelled projectile wrong. Projectile. Fireball projectile. Okay. We'll save that. Beautiful. We'll duplicate this. We're going to call ice ball projectile, and we'll open that up. And you know what? The ice ball projectile is going to be very similar. It is going to have, it's going to be easy peasy. Color over lifetime. It's going to go from blue to a different blue. Maybe white. That's interesting. Maybe I go from white to blue. Or maybe just a lighter blue to a darker blue. Ooh, there we go. There we go. That looks pretty nice. I like it. Okay, let's save that. Like that. Kodak says there's a zoom bar. Yeah. I have it open. So I do both. So that's why I have both of these here, so that I can see a list or like a preview here. Codex. So you can actually have two projects open, and you have the list on one side and then the not so list on the other side. And then you can search in one and not search in the other. So you can actually still have them both. Yeah, I like having two like that. Okay, so now I need to create the ice spell. So we're gonna create an ice ball spell. And I could probably, really, if I was being serious about this, not hacking things together, I'd probably create like a projectile spell ability that you could subclass. But we're hacking, folks. We're hack-a-lacking because we're running short on time. And so I'm just gonna create it this way: ice ball ability. And it's gonna be our moon cost. And our moon cost is gonna be 15, and our yang cost will be 10 on this one. So you can't just use one, or you can't just like be using both, spamming both to get them back. Codex says, didn't notice that. I could never do that. My 27-inch monitor is too small for that. Too small for what? Too small for two? I don't know. I don't understand. For both panels. Okay. Gotcha. It's too small for both panels. I'm on a 21-inch monitor, I think. It might be 24 inches. I'm on a pretty small monitor. So this is going to be plus equals moon cost. And the yang cost, this will be plus equals yang cost. So it goes the opposite direction. So there's like this balance of you casting fireballs and ice balls will change your stats up and down Come on. Come back to me. Come back to me. Oh, maybe I make these both take mind as well. That's an interesting idea. Put your energy into an ice ball. I also kind of want to make it so that you have to be in shade mode. Yeah. So I'm gonna make it so you have to be in the correct mode. So you can switch between light mode and dark mode, light mode and sun mode and moon mode. So we're gonna say here, if moon is less than moon cost. Yeah. That'll make it a little bit. Yang is less than yang cost. You don't have enough moon energy. You don't have enough yang energy. And then one more thing I'm adding here is if player dot effects dot has flag player effect dot light. So if you don't have this, you must first summon Soul's Light. Oh, I said and you must summon AI spell. No, AI spell is correct grammar. I don't know where you wave from. I don't know. I ain't knowing where you from, MMO Pug, but where I ain't from, it's you focus your energies into a ice ball. I don't know where you ain't from, but where I ain't from. All right, thank you, MMO Pug. Thank you so much. Add points, MMO Pug, for your contributions. 50 points, my friend. Much appreciated, very, very much appreciated. You must first summon Soul's Light. This is actually going to be a shade. Shade. You must first summon Loon's Shade. Okay, so you have to be in the correct mode. You can't switch. So that will slow you down. Okay, I like that. I like that idea. And then this one here. It's going to require you to be in light mode. Light. You must first summon Soul's Light. Yeah, so then the description, let me add that. In the description, say using Soul's Light fires a ball out of it. Let's see here. We got a new crew member, folks. Jake. Oh, the Draco. Jaco the Draco, Jaco the Draco, welcome to the crew. Jaco the Draco, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Captain Coders Academy. We are working on the Dungeon Crawler Jam 2023. We are adding in some Dungeon Crawler Jam 2023. We got 20 hours left. We're working on. We got to get through it. We're almost there. We're super close. We're just adding in a couple more abilities. I have to make 2 more levels. We are cutting it close, but all the features are in, and I've designed the levels out. I'm gonna be streaming here for just another couple minutes, 20-30 minutes, and I'm gonna hop off here. I have, unfortunately, a weird throat thing going on, so I can't keep talking too long, and also the stream does detract me from focusing a little bit on this, but just wanted to show off what we have here. This is our Yang Temple, folks. Look how beautiful that Yang Temple is. It's awesome. No, this is the Yin Temple. Force rebuild. This is our Yin Temple. I'm noticing. Okay, I just had to rebuild it. Did I destroy all my? That was probably not good. Looks like all of my my spikes went away. I'm gonna have to look into that. Looks like my spikes went away. Or events. Do my spikes? No, they're still here. They're too bright spike. Okay, the spikes are still here. Jaco the Drake says, nice, just got accepted into comp sci general at uni. Got to start learning code. That's awesome. Congratulations, Jaco the Draco. Awesome job, my friend. Jaco the Draco for getting accepted into a comp sci program. 500 points to you, my friend. That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Computer science degree was one of my favorite things was going to school for a computer science degree. I loved it so much, I've become a computer science teacher. I'm a computer science educator. I teach computer science to middle school, so ages 10 to 14, but congratulations, that's amazing. Also, Nameless Coder, thank you so much for coming in here. How the heck are you on this beautiful day, my friend? There are the spikes. Okay, you can see them, they're just Hard to see. Oh, you can. Okay, cool. I did make them kind of blend in here. Yeah. Okay. That's right. I'm adding in to here. I need to create ability. We're creating our ice ball. All right. So that's going to be ice ball. Ice ball. Using Soul's Shade. Focus Yang and Moon energy into a icy projectile. Okay, the rune phrase should be 8-9, so it goes from Yang and Moon. So 8-9. The cast sound will be moon shade spell, and then the projectile. For some reason, I'm surprised it didn't show up there. Let's go with our ice projectile. What? Ice ball? Ice ball? Oh, there it is. There it is. Ice ball projectile there. And I wanted to update the fireball description a little bit here. Focuses using Soul's Light. Focuses sending it into a fiery projectile. And then we're going to swap this out for fire here. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can cast both fireballs and ice balls. All right. Derek, 1228. Derek, 1228. Hello there. All right, so can we shoot? Nothing happens. I got to rebuild our asset database. One sec. Click over here, rebuild this here. Put the spell description in Polish, so it sounds like you really want to try and cast Skupias. I can't even try to pronounce that. I can't. Oh, I didn't mean to hit stop play there. But yeah. You focus your energy to form an ice ball. I don't even know how to start saying those words. All right. Summon an ice ball. You must first summon Soul's Light. Perfect. So we have to get Soul's Light here. Boom. Oh, I'm out of Yang energy. So here's the cool part of this game. I'm out of Yang energy, but if I switch to shade mode, to Lune mode, notice my Yin and Yang bars work together. So you can sort of switch modes. The idea is you can't use one energy too long. All right, so I'm gonna be out of, I don't have enough Moon energy now. I switched to light mode, and now I can start casting fireballs. Fireball. Fireball, fireball, sweet. All right, go to shade mode. There we go. All right, I'm pretty happy with this, folks. We got a fireball spell. Let's do a commit. Let us do a commit. Let us do a commit. Get status, get add, get commit -m feat add fireball ice ball spells. Like that. I'm gonna go and push that on up. Push it on up to GitHub, folks. All right, and then now that we have that, we finished adding a fireball spell. Because we had done the projectile spell, so in the way that we did, it became pretty easy to add this in. Beautiful, folks, for being here to witness this momentous occasion. 50 points to everyone. I should actually do 100 points. 50 points to everyone for the fireball spell. 50 points for the ice ball spell. Beautiful stuff. That said, I think I'm gonna hop off here. I know it's super short stream for me today. I just wanted to hop in, share with the progress with everybody what's going on here. I need to really sit down, focus, finish the last 2 levels of this, and submit it. I'm really happy with the productive stream. I managed to get this done about in 90 minutes. 90 minutes to get the projectile spells, and I'm happy. It's not quite done because I gotta add in stuff for like having them break up when they hit walls. But we will be back tomorrow, assuming my sickness doesn't get worse. I don't feel sick, but I have a weird something forming here. Assuming that I'm feeling okay tomorrow, we're gonna be streaming tomorrow. We're gonna be playing the submissions of the dungeon crawl because it's due. It's coming up. We got to get it in here. 20 hours to submit. I'm hoping to get this done in the next 10 or so hours and submit it. But, you know, in reality, it's probably going to go all the full 20 minutes. That said, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this beautiful day. I'm so glad you're here. Again, one more time, I got to give another huge shout out to ITC Studios. Woomy is an amazing indie game developer, pixel artist. She's currently working on a 2D action adventure game called Anomaly. Did you see that beautiful pixel art? Also, just to show you here, these coffee guys, this is Woomy. I commissioned this. Woomy made this. Woomy is open for commissions now, folks. Open for commissions. Got to go check out her stream. Give her some love. Give her some love. That said, we're going to go ahead and find someone to raid. I think we're going to raid Mooniz. I think I saw Mooniz. We're going to check and see if his stream's still going. And then I gotta get cracking. I gotta get cracking. But yeah, we're gonna go raid Mooniz here. Mooniz usually goes when he's streaming this early. I know it's not Saturday, which is interesting. Let me double check. We got a Woe chain going. Let's see here, because actually, you know what, folks, we're just gonna raid Mooniz anyway. Hopefully he's going for a little bit while longer. Mooniz. As always, folks, keep coding. Just so you know, Mooniz is the guy who taught me everything I know about Unity. As always, keep coding, keep growing, be the best you can be. I will be back tomorrow, fingers crossed. As always, you are welcome back anytime. Have yourself a beautiful day.
Lost out of all the points. A banger.